Please welcome up here our next speaker. This is Andrew Mayerson, who is a doctor and at the A&E at the Royal London Hospital. Please welcome him up here with a round of applause and love in your hearts.
Hello, everybody. Just a note, I'm speaking for myself entirely, not representing anybody who I work for, but I suspect that a lot of NHS employees throughout the country will agree with. Hi, I am Dr. Andrew Mayerson. I'm an emergency medicine doctor, proudly working in your NHS, right across the river in Whitechapel at the Royal London Hospital. I am also a proud immigrant to your country. Yes. This year it will be 10 years since we moved to London. Is 10 years enough for me to be able to call myself a Londoner? Yeah. That's okay? Okay, good.
But where are you really from?
Baltimore, Maryland. Yes. As a bloody foreigner, one here not to take your job, but to take care of you and your children if they ever become ill, I see your country through the lens of an outsider. I see your country through eyes that have seen the wonders and the horrors of the American healthcare system. Wonders for those who can afford it and horrors for those who can't. I see your country through the eyes of someone who has family members and friends who have had their financial lives destroyed by terrible American healthcare bills. And I'm grateful to be in your country where healthcare still is a human right. I am grateful for the NHS in a way that only an immigrant or those who grew up without the NHS can truly understand and appreciate. But my love for the NHS is not a blind love of an institution that I'm just told to love. It's a deep respect for an extraordinary healthcare system, one dreamed of by Beveridge, that by 2010 was ranked the #1 healthcare system in the world. You guys were the best globally. And then the Conservatives took over and conserved nothing of the society we had spent generations building. They gave us Austerity 1.0, a no-deal Brexit, a Tory civil war. They stole £400 billion from NHS budgets and then delivered a criminal-grade pandemic response. Life expectancy dropped for the first time in 100 years. We became poorer, sicker, shorter even, and far less productive. From 2010 to now, it is absolutely shocking. It's shocking to see how far the NHS has fallen. GP waiting times used to be 24 to 48 hours. It can now be up to a month. A&E waits, it used to be 4 hours. Now 24 hours in A&E is no longer just a television show. It's the reality for far too many people around this country. Many of my colleagues, myself included, have been assaulted multiple times by patients. It's happening in record numbers as patients are just absolutely furious with the terrible waiting times, and they're taking it out on us. Elective care waiting lists, which used to be only a few million, peaked at nearly 8 million, the longest in NHS history, before dropping now to a still shocking 7.5 million. Cancer waiting times used to be a 2-week wait. It's now months before you see a specialist to get treated. Right here in the 6th wealthiest country on the planet, we have patients that are dying from treatable cancers in record numbers. Shame. Our hospitals are crumbling because maintenance budgets have been gutted. Increasing privatization means far fewer staff to help you through your journey in hospital, which kills productivity. And it's been so bad over the last couple of years that up to 500 patients are dying every single week in this country from delays accessing NHS emergency care. Those are people dying at home waiting for an ambulance, dying in the backs of ambulances that are queuing outside of our hospitals, dying in our A&E waiting rooms because we don't have enough staff to be able to see them, triage them, and see and understand just how sick they are. That's over 25,000 avoidable deaths every single year, and it's been happening for probably the last 5 years. Easy. And so it's therefore not surprising at all that we are losing 20,000 doctors every single year. We're losing 40,000 nurses every year. And all of our colleagues are going to the private sector and they're going to health systems abroad where they are appreciated because we just can't take it here anymore. As an A&E doctor in one of the 4 major trauma centers in London, I'm at the coalface of this societal breakdown. If you just spend some time in one of our A&E waiting rooms, you'll see chronic conditions that have been made far worse by long waits to see your GP, people having mental health crises, people in desperate need of housing, addiction support, a social care package, a safe place to sleep, or just a sandwich and a cuppa. This is what it looks like when governments fail their people. Our last government launched the greatest assault on our population's health since World War II. They intentionally undermined your own healthcare system to drive more patients into the arms of private healthcare. It was not a foreign enemy. It was our very own government. And what they have created, it's fair to say, is the greatest crisis we faced as a nation and as a society since the time of the Beveridge Report. Sir William understood the magnitude of the crisis. He understood that a revolutionary moment in the world's history is a time for revolutions, he said, not for patching. We desperately need a revolution in government right now, not one of pitchforks and torches that burn our beloved institutions to the ground like they're doing back in the United States, but one that builds a new social contract with the people. The time for a patriotic wealth tax that asks the super rich to just be a bit less greedy is now. The time for tax justice is now. The time to rebuild our NHS, to fix social care, to rebuild our schools, to clean up our rivers, to restore our railways, to fix local transportation, and to deal with the climate emergency is now. The time for patches is over. Because if we do not immediately support working families with tangible results that start improving their lives this year, not in a few years, this year, then trust me, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Nigel Farage will turn this country into a giant free port. And everything we fought for the last 100 years will go down the drain. Take it from me, at this moment in our history, in my country's history, your institutions are far more fragile than you think. So please join me in sending a wake-up call to the Labour government. Wake up and read the room. Stop pretending it's 1997 outside and start understanding that for the rest of us, it feels very much like 1942. Austerity 2.0 is not the answer.
It kills.
That's right. But what is the answer is Beveridge 2.0. Thank you, guys.